suddenly fall ill right now, will you have money set aside somewhere where you could take yourself to the hospital? Or would you have to borrow from friends and family or stress about where to get the money? Hey guys, welcome to this video. So today we're going to be talking about something that can literally save you from financial disasters, right? We'll be talking about what we call the emergency fund. So if you have been looking a lot into finances lately, I think you would have come across this word, emergency fund, right? So let me ask you an honest question. If you suddenly fall ill right now, will you have money set aside somewhere where you could take yourself to the hospital? Or would you have to borrow from friends and family or stress about where to get the money? So let me see your answers in the comment before we continue. Let's be really honest, right? I know as Africans we're tempted to say,
God forbid.
oh, it's not my portion, I'll not get sick, God is in control, but life happens, right? So would you have that money? Let me see your answers in the comments. So first things first, what is an emergency fund and why do you need one? So let's simply put it, an emergency fund is money set aside for life's unexpected problems. So let's say medical bills, the loss of a job, family emergencies. So it's money set aside for these unexpected problems. And why do you need an emergency fund? So an emergency fund is very important. You need an emergency fund because life is unpredictable. You don't know what can happen tomorrow. And you don't want a little crisis to become a financial disaster just because you weren't prepared. So that is what an emergency fund is, and that's the main reason why you need one. Life is really unpredictable. So now that you know what an emergency fund is, now how much do you really need for your emergency fund? So typically your emergency fund should consist of 3 to 6 months of your living expenses, right? So you have to go back to the drawing board and learn how to budget. You have to know how much you spend in a month. Then if you want to start with an emergency fund of 3 months, you simply multiply that by 3. If you want an emergency fund of 6 months, you simply multiply that by 6 to know how much you are going to need for that emergency fund. Don't cut out anything. Just write your living expenses the way they are right now, and then you do that multiplication to see how much you are going to be needing for that emergency fund. So now that you know how much you need to save for your emergency fund, right? Now, where should you keep that emergency fund? So first things first, your emergency fund should be easily accessible since you don't know when emergencies might hit, right? As we have said, life is unpredictable. And also, it should be separate from your money that you spend on a day-to-day basis. If not, your money is just going to get mixed up and you won't even know what's going on. So basically, the two best ways to keep your emergency fund is in a high yield savings account, or you can just keep it in your MTN mobile money or Orange mobile money, something that is easily accessible, right? But then be careful not to spend it. Okay, so now I know what you're thinking. Yes, I know all this about emergency funds, but how am I going to save now that I barely can survive? I live paycheck to paycheck, right? So the only advice I can give you here is to start small. So you'll be surprised what compounding can do. Even 1,000 per day can make a very big difference. Just start small. Even if it's your spare 1,000 that you see that you have, go and save it. Now also, you can also save your money that you receive, right? Like gifts, unexpected money gotten from people. You can just redirect it to your emergency fund. Don't start thinking of how to spend it. Just redirect it to your emergency fund. And also, what I can say is budget. Cut out, really look at what you spend your money on. Cut out unnecessary things. All that money that you spend on unnecessary things can be diverted to go to your emergency fund. So that will be it for this video. Thank you for listening. So do you already have an emergency fund, or you're about to start one right now? So let me hear your answers in the comments. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.